Welcome back. The last few weeks I've been working on getting some body panels installed, so hope you enjoy. Thanks for watching. I just did a trial fit here to see how the gas cap is going to work. Here's some of the inside. I had to step the plug back about 3/4 of an inch here so it would clear the cap, the bolt in the cap. It opens like this. And there you can see it's inset inside here. Get a little more light. So that's the plug. The issue I was having was this bolt. This seal has got a spring behind it, but this bolt stays in that position, and it was hitting. So I had to set that plug back in. So with that being said, let's do this. Here is a 1772 plug. Goes here and it plugs right in. I'm a little bit close at the top, but I can adjust that a little bit on the inside so I have a little more clearance, just in case this plug on different outlets have different plugs, so that might hit, but anyway, this one fits fine. This is sealed around here. There's going to be, there is a rubber seal here, and you can see it a little bit inside here. I did put a tiny little drain hole down on the bottom there, just in case something, some water or something happened to get in there. But that's it. Neat. I'm going to put the rear valance on. I've cleaned all the bonding surfaces under this, under the lip here and along the bottom. It took quite a while to get everything fitted real nice for this to clamp on. A couple of things I did before I put this on. Again, I sealed up these holes that were on here and put some seam sealer around them from this side, because once this is bonded on, this is covered. I welded some tabs on here for the back corner of the fenders. I'll be able to drill through these and also bond to these. It'll give some added strength. It'll also be, the rear valance and the fender will be bonded right in this area, right in there together. I did that on both sides. This was the exhaust cutout here. I had put a piece in there and filled that in. There was just a lot of straightening I had to do on this back panel to make sure this rear valance fit. This is the cartridge, the 3M gun, and the bonding adhesive. This is the 8115. Try it out, see what happens. They give you a couple of the nozzles. This is the mixing nozzle where it mixes the two together. They give you a couple of these and a seal, so I know I'm not going to be using all of this, hopefully. And this, for this, they give you a sealing cap to put back on here so you can continue later and use the rest of it. So I do have it comes with 2 nozzles. So anyway, going to try to get this on, see what happens. This shows the overlap on the rear valance, and I welded on these little tabs here so I could screw the fender in and hold it in a little more solid and tight, and also give it a surface to bond to. What I did was, you can see all of these, anywhere where there's going to be the bonding agent applied, ground down with 40 grit all the way around. All of these areas here are going to have the 3M bonding agent on them. Okay, the wheel wells. These are the plates that extender plates I put on there. There's no screws. I mean, it's bonded on. It's solid. this works really well. It's solid, just like the steel panel. So this is ready to go. After the fender's on, I'll be putting some fiberglass strips in here on the inside of the fender to seal this all off, all the way around here. And then I'll also have, I made some plates that go in here to keep water from getting down in here in the front and rear quarter. They'll be in there at an angle, but I can show you more of that later. This is the inside of the fender. I did some grinding around the edges to get a tight fit. I had to do quite a bit of grinding on the inside up here, but it seems to fit pretty nice. We're just about ready to glue it on. I have the fender on. I put a few extra screws in. There was a few places where I just wanted it a little tighter, a little more secure. There's a board up here that kind of helps put equal pressure all the way across above up here. And I had to inject a little bit of the adhesive in through here. I added about 3 more screws just to hold everything tight. Seemed to work pretty good. Well, it's on there. So I'll see how it looks tomorrow. I have both the rear fenders and the rear valance all bonded onto the car. I want to show you what I did inside. There was a slight gap around between the fiberglass wheel well panel that I bonded on earlier and the fender, and to take up that I put some fiberglass cloth in there. So a piece of it here. I put some fiberglass cloth in there all the way around to seal it off. And I also made some corner pieces that are angled in here. So if water off the tires and stuff comes in here, it's not going to get in behind. Whoops, it's not going to get in behind here. This will all be sealed off even more, but that keeps water out of there. I did that on both sides. I'll go over to this side, and the same thing over here, all the way around. And I hung the doors on just to kind of get an idea of the fit. There's a little bit of overlap here I got to trim off, but they fit pretty nice, so I'm okay with that. Now I'm going to be, now that I have the back quarter panels and rear valance put on, I'm kind of working my way forward, which is usually what happens on these British cars, Triumphs and stuff. You always kind of start at the back and move forward. So the fenders and hood are kind of the last thing you line up. I did put the doors back on temporarily just for fitting, but what I'm going to do is I really need to get this hood completed so I can get that on there for aligning the front fenders. I wanted to show you what I've been doing with the aluminum hood. The car had been sitting so long that the pivot points on the hinges froze up. When they tried to open the hood, they were so stiff, they bent this piece all out of shape. They had actually cracked it on both sides by the mounting plates here. It was bent way up. I really wanted to try to save this hood. It's the original hood that came with the car as far as I can tell, because of the paint that's on here and everything. I haven't stripped this side of the hood yet, I stripped most of the other side. It's in pretty good shape. There's just a couple small little dents right on the front, which I can take care of. Not a big issue. So the only way I could figure to do this, I went ahead and drilled out the spot welds on both sides here, and then there's a few here, and then every, say, 3-4 inches across the back they have a spot weld. I went ahead and drilled those out. This piece actually lifted out real nice, and I was able to do a lot of straightening to it. Just by welding this back up here, I did not feel comfortable doing that. I didn't want to put anything on this side that's visible when you open the hood. I want it to look stock, original, as close as I can get it there. So what I did is I made these aluminum plates that fit on the back side. The reason why there's holes in here, that's where the welding points will be. It'll be like spot welded on there. These should add quite a bit of strength to it. They're a little bit thicker, about the same thickness, just a hair thicker. But with this crack being welded and this, from this side and then cleaned off, and then I'll have this spot welded on the back, that will brace this whole area because the hinge is just right here. So that should make this real strong. Once I get these welded up and everything smoothed out on this side, I can reinstall this. The hood had some, the hood hinges had rusted shut, so they did not function, and someone in the past had forced the hood open, and it really bent this main structure piece that fits in the back of the hood. I straightened it out the best I could. It came out pretty good. You can see these nasty cracks here. So what I'm going to do is I made these strengthening plates, again out of aluminum, to fit on both sides. I was going to tack weld these where all these spots, these holes are at, but after using this bonding adhesive, I am going to use the bonding adhesive to put these on, and possibly even to install this back on the hood. This piece cleaned up pretty nice. This should add a lot of strength to where the hinge area is on this. Anyway, we'll see how that goes. This is the upper panel for the inside of the hood. The hood actually sits on top of this. None of this will be visible from the other side, but the bracing looked like it's going to work really good. Saved from having to do any welding here. This is the other side, the bottom side, and where the hood hinges attach. So, okay, this is the underside of the hood. I'm going to spend today getting this hood prepped and ready to go. I've got a lot of sanding to do to get this ready. These are the attachment points for the rear brace here, and then all around the edges. You can kind of see where I drilled out some of the spot welds that were on here. Again, I'm not going to weld this on. I'm going to use that 3M bonding adhesive, but I got a lot of cleanup work to do to get this in there and fitting properly. But yeah, I think we can save this hood. I got the hood bonded back together. I wanted to show you what I've done. This is an aluminum hood, which was on some of the earlier MGs. I wanted to try to save it. It's not too bad a shape. It had some, you can see some marks here on the front where there's been some repairs. There's a little bit of a dent there and stuff, but it's really not in too bad a shape. Here is the inside of it. you can see I haven't cleaned off any of the adhesive that kind of bled through. I'll be cleaning that all off, but it worked out really well. It's pretty solid. This hood is really light. It's probably as light as, say, a fiberglass hood would be. It's very soft metal. I got the hinges freed up. I cleaned those up and they're ready to paint. So everything moves freely. I took the hood brace off. Those holes will be filled. I'll be putting an aftermarket hydraulic or little gas cylinders on here. So this will be taken off too, this bracket. That I need to remove that. But yeah, so that's coming up pretty nice. I have started working on the right fender. It's I kind of figured this would happen, but I did have to take about over 1/8 of an inch off up here, probably maybe even 1/4 of an inch, to move the fender back to get these gaps better. I don't have it totally bolted on yet. There's an inner panel on here, which I can show you. This panel is for the left side, but the original steel fenders had these, the door jamb would be up in this area here on the left side. This braces the inside of the fender here from flexing. This one isn't attached to it yet, but that's what I'm kind of doing now. But yeah, the fender's coming out nice. There's a little bit too much of a gap here, but like I said, I haven't adjusted this door yet. So this will be able to come out and actually just a hair forward on this. So, but it's fitting really nice. Real happy with this. The hood, I still have to get this little bit of a bow out of it here. And there's a little bit of a bow back here, but this aluminum bends very easily, so I don't think that'll be too much of a problem. That's it for this episode. Didn't quite finish with all the body work that I wanted to get done, but I'll get it finished up on the next episode. And the next thing I want to start on is battery boxes. So thanks for watching.